everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to HouseofCb, your one-stop channel for everything fashion. So first of all, if you know you've not subscribed, please do so. Okay, join the fam, join the community of creative designers. For today's video, we're going to be recreating this beautiful HouseofCb dress. It's so elegant, so beautiful, and so simple yet sophisticated. So I just decided to recreate it and show you how I came about recreating this dress. So if you want to know how I did it, then keep on watching. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for this tutorial, we're going to need the following tools. We're going to need our front and back basic bodice. We're going to need tape roll, scissors, marking pen, regular pen, our measurements of course, then these 3 rulers. Okay, no, we're not going to need these, so just these 2 rulers. And then the fabric that I chose to use is this beautiful silky material. I love it because it's really thick yet flowy, so it's going to be perfect for this dress. So yeah, let's move on to the pattern first. The first thing that you're going to need is that you're going to need your bust radius. And what is your bust radius? Your bust radius is basically just your bust to your under bust, because that is the radius, like the circle that your breast forms. So what you need to do to get your bust radius is to just measure from your bust to your under bust, and that should give you an idea of your bust radius. So yes, if you want to wear this dress with a bra, then it's advisable that you wear your bra before you measure yourself, so that when you want to dress, like when you want to wear the dress, it's going to fit perfectly on your body. So yeah, let's move to the measuring that. So my bust radius is 3.125. so I'm going to measure it from this bust line. Okay, we're not going to go down again. So it's from this point here that you measured your darts, like your this point right here. So that is what we're going to measure. So we're going to measure both on top and at the bottom. So let me measure that now. Okay, then measure down as well. So because of the nature of the dress, you can see that in the middle of the bust there is gathering. So instead of us to make it a neckline already done, instead of us to make the sweetheart neckline already done, we're going to make it a straight line so that we'll be able to have that gathering effect. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to measure from this bust line. I'll just measure up the same 3.125 inches. Now for this one, we have this already, right? So now, because if you notice with the dress, it's a little bit curved, okay? It's not just straight, like the line for the bust is not just straight. So we're going to have to curve it just a little bit. So what we're going to do is that we're just going to measure 3.125 inches, right? We first measure it here, measure it here as well. And then, so what we're going to do now is that we're just going to go up ½ an inch, just to give it that raised effect on both sides. I'm just going to go ½ an inch, so that is it. So let's just go here. Then that is where this comes in play. So it's just going to be like this here. Okay, yes, we've already gone up ½ an inch, and then we're just going to connect this to this point right here. Okay, well, we did a little bit. I think it's a little bit too low, so let's make it up. Let's make it 1 inch instead of ½ an inch. Okay, let's make it 1 inch instead of ½ an inch. So let's do that now. If you don't have this ruler, it's okay, you could just freestyle with it. But if you have this ruler, it's just better to just use just for. Okay, so let's measure it just to be sure. Okay, so straight down. So yeah, so this is it, this and then this. So let me show you what I like to do. So you know when you have darts, right, and this dress for this top part is going to stop at the waist, so there's no need for this part again. But for my darts, to make sure that I still have where it's supposed to start from, I like to leave this part. Like, so what I like to leave this part. Like, so what I like to do is that, let me show you what I like to do. I would go down half an inch here on this line, and then I will just do it like this, do it like this, so that I would now cut it. Okay, let me show you how I would cut it. So this is what I mean. So for my darts, when I cut this out on fabric, I know that, okay, all I just need to do is just fold it in like this, and I have my proper dart. You understand? Instead of having to look for where the dart is, it's so easy for me to just do it like this. So in every half top that I make, that, okay, I need to put a dart that would go down, all the way down, I just like to leave this space. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut out this fabric. We're going to this pattern on fresh pattern paper, but before we do that, let us move on to the back. So the back is pretty straightforward. All we just need to do is just, so now for this back panel, we're just going to measure the way we did 3.125. Just measure it on top, measure it on top here as well, and that is it. And draw a straight line. Let us already leave the seam allowance for this one already, so that we know that we have it and we're not going to have to cut this one again. So just leave it. I like to leave just 0.25 for seam allowance, because that's seam allowance. Now we have our back panel. So we're going to do the top and the bottom, because that's where we're going to be joining. So we need space. This one too. So the first thing that you want to do after you cut your straps is to cut the half circle. So don't miss it, okay? Make sure you cut your half circle before you cut your other pieces, like the top part, because you will see the reason why later on. So the formula for cutting half circle is your waist measurement divided by 3.142. So now let's do that now. My waist measurement is 27. 27 divided by 27 divided by 3.142, that is 8.59. So I'm just going to approximate it to 8.625. Okay, so now the first thing that you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to hold your material like this. This you want to bring it out and fold it
like this. So you get this is,
and see this part, right? This part. Okay, so this part you're going to want to do it like this. So just make sure that this part is like this. Do you get? So can you see it? So this is the way it's going to be. So like I did before, you arrange your material like this, and then you just fold it. Okay, sorry. So you arrange your material like this, and then you just fold it like this. Then you do it like this, then just leave your space for your zip allowance. So now my zip allowance is 1 inch. So I'm just going to measure that to make sure that it's okay. So just measure from here, from this place now. There's no longer from here, okay? From here. So since we're going to be joining the circle skirt, the half circle skirt to the top half of the dress, so we're going to want to need seam allowance on the top. So to get your seam allowance from the top, you know we got so my waist was 27 divided by 3.142. That gave me 8.59, which I approximated to 8.625. So that 8.625, you just remove half an inch. So in my case, that is 8.625 minus 0.5. So that gave me 8.125. So instead of that 8.625, I'm going to be measuring 8.125. So I'll so can you see it? So now that is our. So now from this point now, I will measure the length of my dress. So I want my dress to be 26 inches. For this front panel, in order for us to get the slit, we're going to divide this circumference into 3 and this circumference into 3. So we're going to do 8.125, which is this, right, divided by 3. That gave us 2.7. So we're just going to approximate that to 2.625. Okay, it is here. Okay. Can you see it? So now we're going to measure this one as well, so that we know and everything is 53 and a half. So 53 and a half divided by 3, that's 17.8. Let us say 17.725. So we're going to measure 17.725. The skirt, the front panel of the skirt, the back panel of the skirt, then the straps. I've also cut out the top part, so this is it. Cut this out. So I cut 2 of these so that we'll be able to fold it in as facing. So this one is the facing, and then this one is the actual one, right? And then this one as well. This is the facing for the back, and this is for the back. So yeah, that is all for the cutting. So let's get straight onto the sewing. So at this point, I had already sewn the straps and ironed them and stained them, so that's why they're so flat. So now we're going to go to the top part of the bodice, the front part. So we can see we're going to sew that in, but first we're going to have to put the straps into it and sandwich it in a way. So as you can see, just follow exactly what I'm doing and you would be able to get it. And after I did this for this side, I pinned it, and then I did it for the other side. So after I did that, you can see I just sewed it like so, and you could just follow exactly what I'm doing. I zoomed in so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So after that, this is what it's looking like now when you turn it inside out. So yeah, I'm just showing you the straps are supposed to come out there. That is the armhole, and then yeah, so that is the way it's supposed to be. So yeah, very soon I'm going to show you how we will achieve that look. So yes, after that, the first thing that I did after that was I just cut the line that we did earlier on, and then I just sewed it again, and I measured 12 inches for the slits from the top, and then after that I just stopped, and then I started folding it in at the left side and the right side. So now we're on to trying to get the gathers at the neckline side, as you can see. So what I just did is I just spread it out like so, and then I just made a straight stitch with the longest stitch, the gathering stitch, all straight down. Yes, as you can see. Then after that, I just started gathering it very carefully, and then after a while I was done and it was looking like this. So yeah, you can see that it had already formed that sweetheart neckline. Sadly, I lost the footage of where I attached that part to that part, so just know that that is what you would do next. And then the next thing to do is to attach the top part of the dress to the lower part of the dress, which is the skirt. So that was what I was doing now. I'm just pinning it to make sure that everything is in place. After I was done with that, it was time to sew the back, the darts for the back. So usually darts for the back is usually 13 centimeters long. So you can just see me, I'm just notching that place and just doing. So this is why it's so important for you to have that dart thing there, so you see how easy it is for me to get my dart without having to worry about like measuring the length and all of that again. So yeah, I just sewed it and then I just dropped it to the other part and just dropped it, as you can see. Yeah, so after this I went ahead to sew the top part of the bag with the lower part of the back, as you can see. And after I did that for the left and the right side of the bag, I just attached the zipper. So later on in my channel, I'm going to be making a detailed tutorial on how to sew an invisible zipper with facing, because I know that it can be quite tricky sometimes. So I'm going to make a video on that pretty soon. And after that, I just got my front panel and then I just sewed it with the back panel and my dress was done. So this is how the dress came out. I really love it. It looks so beautiful and simple and elegant. I do hope that this helped you, and I do hope that you'll be able to recreate it yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.